Yo, what up? It's AaroniMoses, and I woke up today. I felt inspired because I did not go live last night. I definitely wasn't in the spirit to go live. But I woke up and I read a very important post, and I really want you guys to internalize this information. Now, okay, of course, I'm gonna give you the couple gems. I'm gonna give you little pieces of information, and then I'm gonna tell you about the most fucked up reading that I've ever given anybody, and the most fucked up results that I ever hope will come as a result of my reading, and it's not funny at all. But what's up, Darius? What's up? So when you go into this and you ask people for readings, you ask people for spells and to do magic for you, it's very important that you understand that you need to know these. You need to know these universal laws. You need to know yourself as well. And one very important law that you need to know is the law that expresses as above as so below, as above as so below. You need to know magic, of course. Not You don't need to know magic yourself, but you need to know the principles of magic. You need to know that these the body is a very powerful map of the universe. You need to know that if you come to Aaron Moses and you ask me for a love spell or a money spell, you need to be setting yourself to win, setting yourself up to win as well. And I'm not just talking about one person. I've had multiple people. How's everybody doing? I've had multiple people come to me with their issues and requests for different spells, and they don't allow the magic. They don't allow the spirit, the universe, to work through them. They just don't allow it. I'm going to give you one example of this law. I have a runner's body. My body would be better if I played, basketball. I have fast twitch muscles as well as slow twitch muscles. It would be better for me to train to be a sprinter or a marathon runner as opposed to a football player or a bodybuilder. Now, if you come to me and you don't have any way of meeting people, you don't have a lot of people where you live that resonate with you or on the same frequency or vibration as you, and you want me to do a money spell, excuse me, you want me to do a love spell for you or a relationship spell, that's not really something that would be in your best interest for you to be investing in at this point. You need to be investing in the environment. You need to be investing in, a way to escape your environment to make these connections. Now, you need to be learning about this. Is why I put all this information on my groups for you guys. Not only the information on how to make money using the internet if you don't have that many resources, or if you don't have the proper environment for you to be making money in a specific way, but so you can have the tools that you need to make sure that you have everything around you to make sure that this is practical for you to be investing in. Okay, we need to know about the law of attraction. We need to know that the mind is more powerful when it's open. You need to be taking this information, and you have to know that you need to be creative. You need to be able to convert one energy to another energy. Okay, and how the reason, if you look at it like this, when people do crimes, it's usually the people who are not willing to do the time that gets caught. Because when you go to the universe and you ask the universe to give you a gift, to bless you with something, it would be much easier for you to get it if you are open to suffering the opposite consequences. For example, I said this in one of my videos. If you're going to rob a bank, the likelihood that you will get away will be higher if you accept the fact that I might have to do 10 years in prison for this. You know, if you go into the bank with that mindset, ready to die, I don't care, I go to prison for it. Instead of, you know what, I'm going home, it's going to go smooth, I'm going to ignore the fact that I might go to prison. No, you're going to jail. If you show the universe, look, I don't care. I'm going in there, and I might go to prison. I might not, but if I do, I'm willing to do it. I'm not gonna snitch on anybody. I'm not gonna try to kill myself. None of that, right? I don't want to go too dark on that aspect, but the universe is much more receptive to your wishes. to what you're putting out if you're willing to suffer the opposite consequences. If you're going into a business endeavor and you are afraid and you don't want to lose all your money and you're not willing to live on the street and survive off of ramen noodles for a whole year, the universe is not going to take you as serious. And that's just true. That's just true. That's why a lot of the I saw in the, that's why a lot of people hurt themselves. A lot of people they fast. A lot of people they do certain things. They show the universe certain pain. They invest in higher quality readings. They invest in higher quality tools. They take more time to prepare. They buy a nice suit when they do magic. They buy nice slacks, or they invest. Okay, this is why when I do spells for you guys, I tell everybody. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you do. I don't care how little you spent with me. You need to be improving your health. You need to be eating less meat, especially pork and red meat. You need to be if it's really big, you need to be fasting. You cannot you can't be stealing. You can't be lying. You can't be cheating. You can't be breaking any of man's laws if you work with me. And if you do, that's fine, but it's gonna block you. It's gonna slow down it's gonna make my job harder. Then you're gonna call me Aaron Moses. What happened? You just you just stole a Snicker from Walmart, bro. I told you don't steal. Stop cursing so much. Treat your kids better. Treat your parents better. Stop cheating on your girlfriend. You're blocking the magic by doing that. That's what it is. Now, the post that I read was asking, have you ever gotten a reading? How's everybody doing this morning? Have you ever gotten a reading and the reading didn't apply to you at this point, but in the future it came and you knew exactly what was going on when the reading came? And I want to tell you guys, if you get a reading, I'm not reading, there is no time. I'm not doing, I read people before I do these spells, and I tell them, look, I'm not interested in this. Because if this happens, something bad, when the magic happens exactly how you want it to happen, you're not going to want it anymore. It's not going to be important for you anymore. It's going to be useless and pointless. If it happens exactly how you want it, you might just fuck around and kill yourself. And I don't want that. You might get to the point in your life where you're like, I shouldn't even spent that little money. I could have kept it and invested it in myself. This is why I need you guys to, number one, know the principles of magic. Know the fact that you need to clear yourself. You need to cleanse yourself. And you need to know yourself. And you need to know how magic in the spirit works, how the universe works. You need to know these principles of raising, directing, and clearing the space and voiding, not obsessing with this. Let me do my job. Let the universe do its job, and don't obsess with the outcome. Don't think about the how. Put in a little bit of work on your end by keeping your channels open, by inviting those energies and making sure that this is even available to work. Like I said, if you come to me and you say, Aaron Moses, I want the most beautiful Brazilian, long hair, brown skinned woman in the world, and I say, I bet, where do you live? And you say, oh, I live in the middle of Utah somewhere. I'm like, bro, there's no Brazilians in Utah. What you talking about, bro? You want me to do a spell for a beautiful Brazilian woman to come to you and have 7 of your kids, but you live where there's no Hispanics at all? That's impractical, bro. Get on that internet, or get another get another shift at the factory, get a car, move to Chicago somewhere, move to Atlanta, somewhere where there's at least 2 Brazilians. They might have some family visiting, something like that, bro. But you gotta be practical. You gotta give me something to work with, But that's really all I have to say about that. I'm gonna tell you the story about the most fucked up reading. I already said the word fuck one time. Fuck it. The most fucked up reading that I've ever given. So this is before This is about a year and some change after I not discovered my gift. I've already known about it at this point my whole life. But I grew up in a Catholic household, so I didn't know how far I could take this. How you doing, Andrea? I didn't know how far I could take this psychic stuff, you know. So I googled everything, and then I opened my third eye. So this is a year and a half later. I was meditating one time, and I didn't even know exactly what was going on. I passed out for about 5 minutes, but I received like an hour worth of information. And I woke up, looked at the clock. I was like, what the fuck? What I saw one of my friends in the future, based off the energy that she was putting out right now. Like I just told you guys, nobody sees the future. They see the highest likelihood of what's going to happen based off of the obstacles that are set in place for you, the events that are going to happen, that are set to happen to you based off the energies that you are operating off of right now, right? So nobody can tell you your future. They can tell you the possibility. They can tell you what's most likely going to happen. And with a lot of people, it's not what's most likely, which is strange. They just tell you randomly what they saw, maybe the 30%, maybe the 10%, right? So I saw my friend's future, and my friend is she was born in she was born in Guerrero, Mexico, on a ranch. Very, they weren't poor, but they just weren't living the American lifestyle. She came over here in Chicago. She was selling cocaine, prostituting, just trying to live, just trying to get that fast money. And she always had big dreams. We would always talk about it, and she wanted to be a fashion designer and all of that. So I went to her. She was a Catholic too. So I was telling her, um, bro, I saw your future yesterday, last night when I was meditating, and she was like, what? What'd you see? And I told her, I was like, man, you're gonna have a condo. It's gonna be a freaking loft. Everything's gonna be a leather white, a big TV. I saw you were coming in, eating popcorn on the phone. And this is when smartphones like just came out, and I didn't even know exactly what I was seeing. But she was asking me all these questions. What kind of car was I driving? What was the position I was in? I was like, you're definitely gonna be a fashion designer. You're definitely gonna be working. I'm seeing you as an apprentice. You might have a desk job, but you're on your way at this point. What I've seen, and the last question she had, she was like, all right, this is the last question I have. Will I have a kid? And I thought about it. In my mind, I was like, if I tell her yes, this might actually motivate her to stop doing what she's doing and get up on her stuff, you know? So I thought about it, and I was like, out of love, I'm just gonna lie to her so she could be more invested in this vision that I had. And I was like, yeah, you had a kid. You have a kid. It's a little girl. And she got all excited. And as soon as I told her that, because my visions were a lot more extreme, it was to the point where I would blink and I would just receive all this information. Like 30 minutes to an hour worth of information, or maybe even 5 minutes, depending on what day it was. So I blinked. I just got this negative energy, and I blinked, and I saw her washing dishes at her mom's house with her hair in a ponytail, with a white t-shirt on, and some gray sweatpants. And I was like, oh, fuck. What the fuck did I do? So she stopped talking to me for about maybe a week. We didn't talk 2 weeks. And we hung out again a couple times. Then the next thing you know, she was telling me she was pregnant. And I was like, you're pregnant? You're fucking... Did you get pregnant on purpose? I didn't even ask her all of that. But after we stopped talking for a minute, I told her, look, this is not going to come to you, bro. That's not what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to go to school. You were supposed to get a job and, do all of that. And We stopped talking for a minute. I moved to Arizona, and the same day that I was moving to Arizona, her child ended up dying. And out of nowhere, I didn't know this at this point. Out of nowhere, when I hit New Mexico, because I was taking the Greyhound, when I hit New Mexico, I just felt this rush of positive energy. And I didn't know why, and I just felt so optimistic. And then when I got to Arizona, probably like 2 weeks later, she called me. And she was like, "Yeah, did you hear what happened?" And I was like, "Nah, what's up?" "Yeah, my son died." And I was like, that's probably why I felt so positive, because as soon as she told me that, I'm not I'm not saying I'm happy that her son died, but I just felt all this positive energy and I got this smile on my face like, you actually have a fucking chance now. You have a chance for your future, for what I saw, to come to you. And she couldn't understand why was talking to her like that. And I mean, I didn't tell her. I didn't say that. I was just, consoling her and shit. But eventually, she went to prison for selling cocaine after that. Actually, no. She did, but this is what happened. She got locked up for selling cocaine. She just went to county that time. When she got caught up in a case where there were some dirty police, so they let her out, and she got some money for that, for false imprisonment and getting set up and everything. So what did she do? She took that same money when the feds were already looking at her, when the local police were already looking at her. She took that money, bought drugs, and then she went to prison for selling cocaine. And she got out, went back to prison. She went to prison for 3 years. She just got out the day before my birthday, March 29th. And she was doing all of this. She was doing all of this based on what I was telling her. Now, the first time she got out of prison, I hadn't seen her in about 3 years. Because I moved to Arizona when I was 20. Then I moved to Atlanta when I was 21. Then I moved to Chicago when I was like 23, so I didn't see her. We met up when I was like 24, and she was like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" All mad at me and stuff. And I was like, "What's going on?" And she was like, "So I gotta talk to you about something. What happened to my future? You said I was gonna be living that lifestyle by now." And I was like, "Because instead of you going to fucking school and getting a job, like I told you you should do, you took me you took that information, and instead of doing the work, you tried to have a fucking baby on purpose because you thought you were gonna have a baby in your future. So instead of you actually going to school, how you doing, Antonio? Instead of you going to school and getting a job so you can make your dream come true, you did the easiest thing, which was having a baby. So of course, I shouldn't have trusted her with that information. Now, I talked to many people about this. How you doing, Chris? I talked to many people about this for a long time. It messed me up. I didn't want to use my gifts anymore. I wanted to. It really fucked me up a lot. I felt really bad about. I felt responsible for her baby dying, because of her having. If I wouldn't have lied to her and told her that I saw a baby in her future, she wouldn't have taken the effort, making that. She wouldn't have made the effort to have a child instead of actually doing the work. But at the same time, it wasn't my fault. I didn't make her do the shit. The smartest thing for her to do was to get a job, go to school, so she can make her dream come true. But she didn't do that. She tried to have a baby to make her future come true, which was dumb as fuck. And of course, she didn't take my advice because she feels like I failed her the first time. So, what's up, Frida? So, instead, she was just trying to get the money the best way she knew how, which was selling cocaine and prostituting and shit. and she tried to pay for her schooling like that, which failed. She just got out of prison fucking March 29th. And yeah, that's why I don't tell people their futures or what I see for them too far in advance because of because of the level of responsibility that I don't know that people have. A lot of people you can't trust with too much information. A lot of people they they'll do what my friend did. When I tell them that I see a baby in their future, along with everything they have ever dreamed of, instead of getting a job and trying to go to school, they think that them having a baby will make the money just magically fall in their fucking hands, which is sad, but that's just how it happens sometimes. You know, when I do these readings, especially the astrology readings, I don't tell people things that's past a year because if she would have just kept that same energy, if she would have just kept that same energy and was doing what she was doing, and I didn't tell her anything, I didn't give her any instruction, everything would have fell into place. Everything would have definitely fell into place, but instead she wanted to be lazy and just have a baby instead, and thought everything was gonna fall into place like that. She tried to play God, and she got a second chance. She tried to play God. Her child died because I didn't see a baby in her future. Her son died. She got a second chance. That's when I had another vision of the same thing. And she was just going too hard. Everyone has free will though. That's true. That's why it took me a long time to not feel so horribly about it. I felt very responsible. I felt really fucked up about it. I tried to turn it off. I tried to turn my visions off. I tried to focus on other gifts that I had. I tried to develop gifts that I did not have. And people ask me about having kids when it's linked to their future. I definitely don't tell them. I definitely don't tell them. And I definitely learned a lesson, a valuable lesson, not lying to people about their future to motivate them further to get what they need to get done. And it scarred me. But I guess it's okay now, whatever. I know what's up. You did the same thing. What did you do, Frida? I mean, she was very intelligent. She's still intelligent, I'm sure. But that wasn't a very wise thing to do. Instead of doing, instead of just letting the universe do its work, having a child instead and thinking that was gonna make everything. You saw your mom's illness. That's unfortunate. I mean, it's not that if you can prevent something, take all measures to prevent it. I've changed my future many, many times. I was definitely not supposed to make it to 27. I changed my future many times. I told people that they were going to live. I gave people the exact instructions on how they were going to survive to 108, with the universe giving me the possibilities, the percentages that they were going to live to 108. I told somebody, by the time you're 65, if you make it to 65, there's a 90% chance that you're going to make it to your 80s. After your 80s, there's a 5% chance if that you make it to 91. If you make it to 91, there's like a 2% chance that, and I gave them the exact formula, and guess what? Guess what they're not doing? I don't want to live to be that long. And I was like, bro, if you make it to this age, you're not going to feel like this. Your life is going to be very fruitful. You're going to be rich in spirit. You're going to be rich in experience. But Don't compensate being real due to one instance. It really hurt my trust in people, and people don't trust me with certain information because of the energies that they get from me right now. Because honestly, I don't want to blame it on being an Aries gang, but I'm just very hard headed, and that's a lot of the reason why I'm still alive. Because I adjust pretty well. I'm a pretty fluid person, but I don't know. Because I mean, you would think I should have. I should have known. I should have known better though. This person is living this fast life. Of course, they would take what is it called, the way of least resistance. If somebody would have told me that, honestly, I would have done the same thing. If somebody was like, Aaron Moses, I could see you being a millionaire if you go to if you go to jail. I see you going to jail. If I'm like, okay, am I gonna be a millionaire, right? Especially when I was 19. Am I gonna be a millionaire? And somebody says, yeah, you're gonna be a millionaire. And I say, do you see me going to jail in the future after being a millionaire or before being a millionaire? And they say, yeah, I see you going to jail twice. So you need to stop selling weed and doing whatever you're doing. What I would do is I would go much harder. I would make sure that I went to jail to get that $1 million. I will make sure. And then you know what would happen? I would probably would have died in jail. Just because of those energies. Just because I would have been so cocky and just moving all wrong, just knowing that I was gonna get out and I had $1 million with my name on it. That's what she did. That's exactly what she did. Now I don't know. She was definitely in a past life. She was definitely in a past life because our birthdays and just the timing of everything just lines up so perfectly. But I don't know. I don't know what happened. I hear that regardless, everyone has free will and you have a choice to either act upon the info being given or not. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. Well, yeah, I tried to tell her something before. Again, after she got out, but of course she wasn't trying to hear me. So, anyways, man, I hope everybody takes these principles and takes this energy and develops the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, creativity, and willpower to design your own world. To look at these readings as something that is a possibility, that's not concrete, that's not set in stone. I mean, a lot of people don't like me to tell them that something bad's gonna happen to them. But then when I try to explain to them how time works or doesn't work, and the fact that I can only see up to 86% of what's gonna happen based on the energy that they're vibrating in right now, they don't like to hear that still. So I try to clean it up a little bit. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I do. But yeah, you gotta be more responsible. You gotta be more intelligent. You have to be more creative, because I've done a lot of research on success because that's what successful people do, and success is heavier is more based in a person's willpower and creativity. The number one determiner of success is willpower. The second one is creativity. Intelligence does not determine someone's success. So if you want to be more successful, you have to be more willful and more creative. Definitely. And I don't want you to just believe me. I want you to do the research yourself. But yeah, that wasn't very intelligent, creative, or willful on her part. But that's it, man. It's Aaron Moses. Life is in the breath. Breathe it in.